why we want to focus on this thing called employee engagement in the first place. Well, the first reason is that work is still done by people. How many of you work for organizations where the bulk of the work is still done by people? And would it's interesting, how many of you have read some of the work by Daniel Goleman, the fellow who did the work on emotional intelligence? His most recent book, it was a leadership theme. Anyways, what he said was, he said, human beings are an open loop system. An open loop system. And what that means is that parts of our brain, and I'm a huge fan of brain science, by the way, parts of our brain are designed to do nothing more than cue in to the attitudes and intentions of other people around us. And what engagement ends up becoming, engagement is a function of that kind of that community attitude that we create to a degree. How many of you would agree that attitudes are contagious? So as long as work is done by people, and as long as people are kind of hardwired into each other, it makes a lot of sense to pay attention to that attitudinal backdrop. Number two, engagement is shown to considerably boost employee morale, and I would even go so far as saying that it promotes personal well-being and health too. How many of you have ever worked at a place that you just could not stand to be there? Or had a boss that you could just not stand to be around? By the way, I have a rule here. I would ask that if that person is here with you, that for the duration of our time, we refrain from the sidelong glances. You know who he's talking about, don't you? Boosts morale. So we do know that's true. The other thing is it significantly lowers turnover costs. Now, my brother-in-law is an optometrist, and he told me when you reach the age of 41 or 42, you're going to need peeps. So I'm going to borrow my peeps for a second. According to the Families and Work Institute, employees who are engaged are 87% less likely to leave their organization. How many of you have employees in the organization who you wish would leave?